Yes, judges.
Hello, Dan. How you doing? You
What are you
all
up to, bro?
I'm actually watching the football, mate. This Surfshark VPN is a lifesaver, mate. You can watch the football with a dodgy Wi-Fi, even at the Emirates when you've got a big crowd there and everything like that, watching the football. Unbelievable.
Easy to set up? Well, it must be if you've done it, mate.
Oh, very, very funny. Even abroad you can, like, you can watch all your favourite programmes. It's like being at home, mate.
And that's exactly what you guys can do too. Click the link in the description for Surfshark VPN. Yes, people, we're back. Happy weekend, happy Sunday, happy evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching or listening to around the world. We got a lot to talk about, haven't we? What a weekend of football. My goodness. There is emotions flying around. WhatsApp groups going mental. Twitter has gone off. Liverpool and Manchester United hit the headlines. Fantastic weekend. Who says the FA Cup is boring? Who says the FA Cup is washed? Who says the FA Cup means nothing no more? More for you if you believe it. I told you I was gutted about going. And this is exactly why they are thrillers, man. I'll tell you this now. I absolutely love the FA Cup, always will. And that's why we've got 14 of them. And I'm gutted that we haven't got the opportunity to make it 15 this year. We're going to talk about Klopp salty again. Jurgen Klopp salty again in his interview. He's stormed off of his interview, apparently. It's hilarious. Basically, called the fat and out of shape, apparently. Wow. Madness. Imagine if that was Mikel Arteta. He's walked out. He's got the hump. Ten Hag, Man United fans. If he wins you another trophy, 2-2, could he do it? Well, he certainly can because he's off to Wembley as well. And, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about what this means for the international break as teams start to get ready for that. Before we do so, make sure you do me a favor. Please do me a favor. As you saw there, Surfshark VPN, make sure you go and click on the link. It's in the comments. It's pinned to the description now. It's in the description as well. Make sure you click on that link and it will send you to Surfshark VPN. Everybody is talking about it, so make sure you do not miss out on this. When you go abroad, you'll be able to watch all your favorite programs, just like Sky Sports News, sitting on the beach watching it. So please make sure that you do it. It is the absolute must to get. All you've got to do is literally click the link and you can go in and get it for yourself. So please make sure that you do that, people. If you do want one of these behind me, on my wall, there's a fantastic canvas you can see. In the description, you will see the email of Russell Hogg Photography at hotmail.com. Make sure that you go and email him, say, I'm a gooner. I know Dan Potts and I would love one, and he'll sort you one out. And, of course, Bread and Honey Bets is going on again this weekend. Very successful yet again. Link in the description to the Patreon. So make sure you go win some money, people. Bread and Honey Bets is back. And so is the FA Cup. And that, for me, this weekend proves why the FA Cup really does mean something. Because although people might be in Europe and Friday was a big draw and Arsenal and Bayern and Madrid and City are the talking points, this FA Cup weekend has disturbed those conversations for one reason and one reason only. Thrillers. Absolute thrilling to watch. And if anybody can sit there and tell me today that they did not enjoy watching Liverpool Man United today, the FA Cup, and it doesn't really mean much, you're talking nonsense as far as I'm concerned. I watched an unbelievable game of football on Saturday afternoon where Wolves, to be fair, got beat by Coventry. Mark Robbins, what an unbelievable job you are doing, sir. To take Coventry from League 2 to League 1 to the Premier League, to be up to the Premier League last year, and to be fair, only a few points off the playoffs again in the Championship this year. And now into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, a trip to Wembley, an unbelievable game of football to watch. I was really impressed, in particular with a couple of players. Palmer and Sims, I thought were absolutely superb and deserved to beat Wolves. And I must say, I thought Gary O'Neill was taking Wolves to the semi-finals at Wembley, but it was not to be. That started off what was going to be an unbelievable weekend of football. And yes, it was. We saw today Liverpool against Manchester United. And I have to say, guys, it was a thriller. It was a really good game of football. And Manchester United, I have to say it, Manchester, massive hats off to you, because I didn't see that performance, if I'm honest. I did not see that performance coming. I thought Eric Ten Hag really made it difficult for Liverpool there. And let's be real, Liverpool, did they throw it away? Did they bottle it? Did they crumble under pressure? Jurgen Klopp, the quad is no longer on. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I wanted Liverpool to go through. I wanted Liverpool to get Man City in the semi-finals. And because that wouldn't have happened, I'm not really too fussed now. Because it would have been Manchester City um, going through, in my opinion, to the final. So, apologies, my Wi-Fi is really bad. I'm sorry, people. It keeps cutting in and out. Someone's telling me in the chat, so I do apologize. I don't know what's happening with my Wi-Fi, but apparently it's not great. So hopefully it'll start to improve. We'll see how we get on. Any questions for me in the chat, please make sure that you smash your question into the chat. Put a Q at the start so that I can actually ask questions. And if you do want to throw in a super chat, then of course make sure you do that. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to the channel. And please join as a member if you wish. I'm feeling good. And the reason I'm feeling good is because it's just put a smile on my face. It was a relaxing weekend for me. Enjoyed it with family, enjoyed it with my niece and nephew. And I watched these games of football and I was thinking, frustrating. Arsenal aren't a part of this. Arsenal aren't massively talked about this weekend because we're out of it. But then I thought, you know what? Actually, this has been a good weekend because Liverpool fans are crying. And I must say, I've not really got any massive rivalry with Liverpool. They've not really been a team that I look at and go, wow, let's make sure that these guys have absolute disgrace of a season. I prefer them to Spurs. I prefer them to Man United. I prefer them to Chelsea. But Liverpool fans and their manager, unfortunately, become very salty. And I'm shocked by Jurgen Klopp. I'm shocked by Jurgen Klopp. I think he is an unbelievable manager, but I do believe he is one of the saltiest when they lose. I think he's one of the worst, in fact, to listen to when they lose. The excuses that he comes out with, head, and today he's done it again. Now, I've not watched the whole interview. I haven't. I haven't been able to watch it on replay yet. It's not been out on anything I can see. It looked like he's completely lost his head because he basically tells the reporter that he's not in the best of shape. He's not listening to him and he can't walks out. Now that is just absolutely shocking, isn't it? That is dreadful. Now it sounds like he's talking about the amount of fixtures they're having to play. And real talk, Liverpool have had to play a lot of fixtures. They've had a lot of injuries. No Alisson, no Trent. But real talk, who cares? Man United have had injuries. That Man United side weren't amazing. That Man United side and go, yeah, Liverpool are going to struggle here. I thought Liverpool were going to win because I really felt that Liverpool were the better side on paper. But no, Klopp was salty. Liverpool fans are salty. Why? Because they lost to their rivals with anti-defense. At the end of the game, Bruno Fernandes was centre-back and Anthony was, I believe, right wing-back or left wing-back. What was the way? Unbelievable from Ten Hag, who everybody was laughing at when he brought on Maguire and Anthony. Well, actually, Maguire put himself about a bit and Anthony got on the score sheet. So to be fair to Ten Hag, it actually worked. And I think with Jurgen Klopp, we've seen some pretty shocking things from him in terms of what he said and how salty he's been. That's got to be one of the worst, hasn't it? In an interview, walking out after calling somebody fat and out of shape. What the hell was going on here? Did that actually happen? Or was that just a meme? Rude, arrogant, aggressive, pathetic, bad loser, sore loser. The quadruple's now done. Liverpool fans, the shit quad, as they call it, can no longer happen. So, I don't particularly hate on Liverpool, as I say. I don't look at them as huge rivals, if I'm honest. Whenever we were bad, they were good. Whenever they were good, we were bad. And we never really clashed with each other since, what, 1989? That's the last time we really went. We have actually had some good games against them in the FA Cups before, Champions Leagues before, but they were never like, oh, I can't stand them. They're the team that I hate. But you know what I don't like is bad losers, sore losers, and fans that can't accept that what they've done is gone out to a side that really they expected to beat, and they can't hack it. They can't hack it, and neither can their manager today. It seems he's walked out of an interview. Embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I've got a few players to call out. Yeah. And I'm going to start with a player that actually did get on the score sheet today, but should have won Manchester United the game with the last kick of the game in the 90. I'm, of course, talking about Marcus Rashford. I've had a lot of to-dos with this guy, man. I've had a lot of people hate on me for my opinions on Marcus Rashford. I have a lot of people hate on me because they believe that I'm harsh on him. I genuinely believe it when I say this. He's a good player. Yeah. But that's where it stops. He's not world class. He's not elite. He's not in the bracket of Mbappe and Messi and Ronaldo, like some Man United fans have tried to do over the years. He could be our Mbappe. 3 years ago, this kid was worth £150 million. Where from? What's he done? He's grew up in a decade where Manchester United have won pretty much nada of any significance. Yeah. He's definitely not their best player. He's not the one they rely on. The mentality is not elite, it's weak. And this is exactly what Marcus Rashford does. In big moments, he fluffs it. Now, today he scored a goal, right? But the big moment before that, he completely misses. I just don't really get this player as being in the bracket of some of the players that I've heard him mentioned alongside. Honestly, I was tongue-in-cheek when I said a couple of seasons ago that it's Danny Welbeck who feeds kids, and everyone laughed and said that's harsh. But let's be real, when you compare the two players, is there much of a difference? I mean, Rashford's better, but are we like talking levels here? I don't think so. I don't look at Marcus Rashford any different than I did at Gabby Agbonlahor. I don't look at him any different than Theo Walcott. In fact, I think Theo Walcott was better. I don't look at Marcus Rashford in this current game and go, yeah, your levels above all the other left wingers in the Premier League. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. And he just keeps proving me right. Last season, he put me in the mud a bit. He got 14 or 15 goals. And I thought, you know what? I hold my hands up. You've had a good year, man. You've had a good season. What's he done this year? What's he done this year? No more than Scott McTominay has done. That's what he's done. It's crazy. Dan, would you sign him? Says you said it, Dan, weak mentality. That's the reason I wouldn't sign him, Jim. I would not sign him because the mentality is shocking. He wants to go out partying. The kid's 26 or 27 coming up. He's not the player that I look at and go, wow. Wow, people look at him like he's young and, oh, if only someone can get hold of him. If only someone... The guy's 26. The guy's not going to get to the next level, in my opinion. So that's where I wanted to start. I actually wanted to big up a couple of Man United players today. I thought Garnacho always made things happen going forward. I didn't think Bruno Fernandes was a fantastic game, and I can't stand him as a person, but he kept things ticking. Big up to Anthony, who actually come on, and Maguire, to be fair to him. And big up to Ten Hag today, because they deserve credit. They're no good, but they deserve credit where credit's due. The young kid, Diallo, I know he got sent off for ripping his shirt off, but I can understand why he did it. But fair play to him, because actually, he's come on and won him the game. And I just feel like there's something about today's performance that would worry me if I'm a Liverpool fan, because they couldn't get it over the line. And they will complain, oh, we didn't have Alisson, we didn't have Trent. Yeah, you haven't had them for a while. You weren't complaining when you won the Carabao Cup without them. Yeah. Keller has been a good goalkeeper. I didn't think it was great for the winning goal. I thought he could have done better, but he's a good goalkeeper. Yeah. Quansah, everyone says is brilliant. Oh, he's going to be unbelievable. Stop moaning that you got him then. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're missing Kouyate. Of course they're missing Trent. But this Conor Bradley brother's been given all the praise in the world. And then you've got the midfield. I think Endo is a player who definitely has surprised. He's probably one of the surprise signings of the season, because everyone scoffed at it when they signed him ahead of Caicedo and Lavia. But he's been good for Liverpool. But I've got to question a couple of players. I was told Liverpool have the best attack in the league. I don't see unbelievable attackers there. Their best attacker is out injured. And without Jota, there's no killer for them. Darwin Nunez isn't a killer. Neither, by the way, is Gakpo. What is that? What is he? Gakpo. Talk to me. I don't get him. I don't think he's good enough. I honestly do not think he's good enough. I can't sit there and lie and say that I think Gakpo is going to come good and that I think he's really underachieved or underrated, or people are giving him hard time. This guy is stinky. He's come on and he was atrocious. I saw some really bad touches. Nothing went right for him. And I've questioned his ability and his quality at Liverpool. And some of the Liverpool fans want to give him time and all this crap. This guy is not good enough, man. Darwin Nunez, just not a killer. Causes havoc, causes chaos. His output's better than you'd think. I don't mind him as a player, but I think I rated him higher than he actually is when they signed him. I wanted him at Arsenal, but I don't know that he's a 9. I'm not sure that he's a left. I'm thinking maybe in a top level team, he's someone you throw on with 25 minutes to cause absolute chaos, try and win you the game. When you're starting him week in, week out, I'm not sure that it works, but Liverpool fans love him. And I've left the best till last because when they signed this guy, I'm about to mention, I was a big fan. But Luis Diaz needs to be called out now, man. I'm sorry. There is no output from this lad at all. I don't know the last time he had a good game. The last time he scored, was it against us in the FA Cup? Honestly, man, I do not think he is outstanding. Luis Diaz on the ball looks very nice at times. But he's just another Doku. Just another Adama Traore. Just another Alex Iwobi. Just another Alan St. Maximin. They all look brilliant on the ball. But look at their actual outputs. Nothing. Great on the ball and you think, he's a baller. Technically gifted, this Diaz. I don't get it. He ain't scored for ages. And he's had some stinky performances come off again. Not good enough. And Harvey Elliott, I'm sorry, I don't mind him as a youngster. But I was told this kid was the next best thing by some Liverpool fans. And I don't see him like a Saka or a Foden. But they were like, praise Harvey Elliott. Praise the Lord. What's going on with him? He's all right. But he's the reason they're out today because he gave the ball away in a stupid position. So, I don't know, man. I think Liverpool are in a position where they can still have an unbelievably good season. They can win the Premier League. They can win the Europa League still. And they've won the Carabao Cup. But I don't look at their team and go, lethal. Absolute lethal. I don't look at it and go, oh my God. I mean, I take all of them. There's hardly any Arsenal players getting in here. I don't see it. And people will think I'm being harsh because they've got their players out at the moment. But let's be real. Like, let's just have it right. Are they amazing? Like, do you look at this Liverpool side, real talk, and go, I think this is one of the best teams I've seen. If that wins the league, it will go down and be remembered. I'm going to say it now. I think if that wins the league, people will go, that's not the best Liverpool side I've seen. That's not better than the one under Klopp a few years ago. It's not even better, in my opinion, than some of the ones I saw under Rafa and some of the ones I saw before that. So, I don't know, man. I think the 13-14 Liverpool side under Rodgers is better than this one. It's weird, man. Klopp deserves a lot of credit for what he's doing with them, but I don't think the players are good enough. This Soboslai guy. Anyone get it? Like, he started off really well, and then Gris said he was, I think someone's put it in the chat, the Hungarian Gerrard, and I was like, what am I hearing? I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it with him. I like McAllister. I think he's a baller. I think Endo's been really good. Van Dijk's been a warrior this season. Robertson hasn't looked the same since injuries. I think they've got problems in their front line. I don't know with Liverpool. I think they might be on a little bit of a struggle at the moment, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's for sure. Like, real talk. Tony has a question. Says, I knew Klopp would use tiredness as an excuse. Yeah, he did. And then he walked out the interview after calling the interviewee fat, which is crazy. Absolute mad. Tony also says, Dan, in the 50 years I've watched football, I've never seen a player so overrated as Rashford. Yeah, I don't get the overhype. I think he's a good player, but that's where it stops. Like, why are we trying to kid ourselves here? Why are we trying to say is like the next best thing? Like, he doesn't get into the England team for me. Like, he gets in the squad, doesn't get in the first team. Yeah. If you're looking at my front line, I'm playing Foden and Saka either side and Kane up top. And then I'm having Maddison and Bellingham with Rice in the middle. Rashford is coming on. Grealish is coming on. These are the kids you're bringing on. You're not starting them for me. So Rashford, nah. It ain't for me, man. It ain't for me. Akiz says Gakpo's not good either. He used to play on the wing for PSV. I remember. And I actually thought he looked like a good talent when he was at PSV. But he hasn't done it for Liverpool, that's for sure. It's not a player I look at and think, yeah, you're going to be top quality and take it to the very, very top. So that's Liverpool. They'll bounce back. I'm sure they've got Brighton, I think, in a couple of weeks' time at home, which I expect them to win when we've got Man City that weekend. So I expect Liverpool to win. I still think they've got an unbelievable chance of winning the Premier League because their fixtures are fairly kind. But I look at their kind of bottle today at the end, and they just threw it away. Liverpool crumbled. Defending was shambolic for the Rashford goal. Even worse for the Kelleher goal, sorry, the Diallo goal, which I would actually put as fault for Kelleher. Poor, really poor, man. I'll be really frustrated if that was Arsenal throwing it away in that respect, in that way, in that manner. I'll be asking about mentality. I'll be questioning bottling stuff. So we gotta play the same game for Liverpool now. You know, we have to. We have to ask them questions. Let's talk quickly on Ten Hag before we move. I don't rate him. I don't think he's good enough. I've not been impressed by any of his signings. I've not been impressed by the job he's done at Manchester United. I don't think I can look at Ten Hag and think, yeah, do you know what? With a different structure and somebody who knows what they're doing, I trust this guy. Because tactically on the pitch, it's been poor. He's brought his players over from Ajax. It's been poor. In the, nearly 2 seasons that he's been there, no style of play, no identification, no philosophy, no understanding of what Manchester United he wants them to be. But he's won him a trophy, and he's probably going to put him into another final of the FA Cup, and then who knows what happens. So that means that he's actually won the Carabao Cup, put him into the final of the FA Cup the same year, and potentially going to get into another final if they beat Coventry. So domestically, you look at Ten Hag's record in his 2 years at Man United and go fair play. Is it an Unai Emery situation where it's more problems at the top like it was at Arsenal, and he'll go and do something fantastic like at a similar club to Villa? Nah, it's not. Because I don't see enough from him on the pitch that I think, yeah, do you know what he's trying here? I understand the vision, I understand what he's trying to do. He just don't have the players. I think that's wrong. So I think for me, Ten Hag will definitely be removed from his position at the end. And I think that when they do get this new regime in, they'll go and get a manager that they believe can take them forward, whether that be a Hansi Flick, whether that be a De Zerbi, or whether it be a Graham Potter, who I actually did here, which is absolute madness, by the way, if that happens. So there we go, man. Let's see what happens. Manchester United are a club that I will always respect because of what they stand for and the stature of them. But they are not the Man United that I grew up watching. The Man United I grew up watching, the standards were up here, mate. It weren't, give him time, he still needs it. None of that crap. It was, I'm used to seeing Keenan Scholes in midfield, not McTominay and Bruno. Yeah, I'm used to seeing Dwight York and Andy Cole up front, or Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rooney, or Eric Cantona. Yeah, Ireland and Martial and Rashford. I'm used to seeing Giggs and Ronaldo and Beckham on the wings, not young kids like Garnacho and Diallo giving a go now because the others aren't good enough. That's what I grew up on. And Man United fans that grew up with me that era, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Not the young kids now who lived up on McTominay and Fred. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So that's where we're at. Dan said the same thing about Arteta from Illuminated. I don't know what I said about Arteta. What bit are you talking about, please, mate? And we can discuss it. I don't know what bit I've said there that I said about Arteta. So let me know. We cannot finish the stream without talking about the Premier League games this weekend. The other FA Cup game is not, let's be real, there's not much to talk about. Manchester City went through. Bernardo hit a deflected couple of goals, but Newcastle were poor. And Eddie Howe's under pressure. I don't really think there's much more to say other than Man City are probably going to win the FA Cup now. The other game today, I watched it, and Chelsea really are blue £1 billion bottle jobs. Was that what Gary Neville told them? Well, he was right. That was a shambles today. Honestly, absolutely shocking. I watched them and I just thought, what's going on here? Now, I've granted I only watched the last 25 minutes, but I was sitting there thinking, what on earth is going on here? Pounds being spent on a team that looks absolute trash. What's happened to Raheem Sterling, by the way? Because he was absolutely atrocious. I saw a free at Mars. He missed a penalty, apparently, which was a poor penalty. He had a couple of chances on one and he put it wide. Pochettino actually took Mudryk off instead of him, but took him off as well in the end. This Nicholas Jackson guy, I'm being told, is, but I can't see it. Don thinks that Saka and Martinelli are two players he would not have over Mudryk and Palmer. Now, by the way, Cole Palmer, top talent. I think he's a delightful player to watch. But don't tell me he's better than Saka. Chelsea shirt for 3 years solid and actually carried them like this lad has us. Because without Saka in the last few years, where the hell would we be? Now, I think Palmer's a top talent. I really do. But some of these Chelsea fans, they overrate their players. Caicedo does not look like the Caicedo from Brighton. Oh, don't have a go at him. He's been one of our best players. Cool. If that's the bet, if you're happy with that, you ain't going to win nothing. Conor Gallagher's been one of our best. Yeah, that's a problem. Disasi, one of the worst own goals you're ever going to see. Seriously, one of the worst you're ever going to see. Absolutely embarrassing. Grumpy says, could you send a link to football prizes, please, Dan? In the description, my bro, you'll be able to find that. Make sure you go over to football prizes. They've got unbelievable raffle prizes at the moment, man. You've really got to get involved in the Legends one as well, because it's Ronaldinho and Messi. So make sure that you get a chance. Go over to footballprizes.co.uk and you will see it there, mate. So big up to you for that. But listen, Chelsea are a problem. And they're not a problem in a good way. They're a problem in a bad way if you support them, because they are run dreadfully. I don't have any fears whatsoever about them. Pochettino is a manager that's never won anything, and he's proving why. He's been atrocious, absolutely awful. And they're bringing on players I never heard of. Well, I've heard of them, but they ain't going to do anything. I've heard of Chukwuemeka. I've heard of Mudueki. I've heard of players that are coming on that I'm looking at going, really? I mean, Leicester, let's be real, if it weren't for 10 men, would they have actually done better? Probably. Probably they would have. So Chelsea, a mess. Absolute mess. Ridiculous amount of money. How to waste £1 billion and how to not run a football club. That's a case study of how to not run a football club if ever I've seen one. They should do a documentary on it. Keep away. I hope those owners stay forever, because they ain't taking Chelsea forward. Let me tell you that now. They're shocking. Absolute embarrassment. So that's where I'm at with them. Then we come to the Premier League games. West Ham and Aston Villa. From what I hear, West Ham had a really good first half. Unai Emery made some changes and Aston Villa had a much better second half. But my God, man, West Ham, they nearly nicked it, man. They had 2 goals that were ruled off yet again. They had a few like that now in all competitions as well, in Europe and in the Premier League. But I have seen it back. Only the goal, the Souček goal. And he's done that with his arm, man, to put it in. You can't do that and get away with it. You know, Lawless is not happy. He's not going to be on the show tomorrow night because he's gone to Cyprus for a couple of weeks. But he's arguing with Billy about it. And I'm like, look, it should not take VAR 6 minutes to decide whether someone's used their arm. That is a disgrace. And that's what's got to stop and got to be improved next season. But it's clear for me to see that he's put it in with his arm. So they can't give it. They cannot give that goal. And they obviously didn't. And to be fair, it's good news for Villa that they got something. But really, they should have been beating West Ham if they're serious about trying to clinch on and confirm themselves and cement their position in Champions League football this season. Aston Villa have got to be one of the favourites to win the Europa League. They've got a hard draw, and they have had a harder draw, let's be honest, than West Ham had last season when they've got Ajax and now they've got Lille, 2 of the teams that you would look at and go, fair play. West Ham had it easy until they hit Fiorentina, in the final. Villa have not had it easy with getting Ajax and now obviously Lille. So, I don't know, man. Aston Villa, I fancy him for Conference League. I fancy him for Champions League. But I think they're going to finish below Spurs in 5th. And that's where we're going to end. Tottenham Hotspur, being Spursy again. Oh, I'm really confident that Tottenham are going to get this finishing above Arsenal. Sean, who comes on Lee Judges TV, and Henry, they were quietly confident that Arsenal might still finish below Spurs a few weeks ago. That's now gone very quiet. They're doing their maths. They've got their calculator out. They're doing finances. Oh, can we get this through? Nah, absolutely not now. They threw it away. That was an embarrassment yesterday. They threw away an opportunity to put pressure on Aston Villa after beating them 4-0 last week. And what did they do? They went and got whooped themselves. Against the Fulham side that, let's be real, have actually impressed me. This season, they've done a lot that people give them no credit for. They've done well against us. They've done well against Liverpool. They've now beaten Tottenham. It's a hard place to go, Craven Cottage. And Liverpool and, I believe, Man City have both got to go there. So I think it's going to be a place that could have a bit of a say and a club that could have a say this season. But let's be real, people. I just don't get what was happening with this Spurs side yesterday. Their line was so high yet again under this Ange Ball system. Their front line was a mess. Timo Werner and Richarlison and Brennan Johnson. Son was poor. Their midfield, they completely lost out. They had a shocker, man. A proper nightmare. And Fulham Fair play. They destroyed them. And it could have been more. They were a mess yesterday to Spurs, and I'm here for it. Which means although Villa didn't win, they've got that extra point on them. And I do think that now that they've got this game in hand, Spurs, they have to win it because they're 3 points behind them. It would then, I think they've got a better goal difference, if I'm not mistaken. So they would go ahead of them. But honestly, man, I think Aston Villa will look today and go, do you know what? We didn't lose and Spurs lost. That's not a bad weekend. And they had a couple of injuries. I think they've got a couple of injuries coming back, Villa. I think they've still got Kamara out, Ramsey out, Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins played today, but he's not 100% fit. Obviously, McGinn is out suspended at the moment. So Villa have got some players to come back as well. So I think Villa have got to end the season how they started the season. Because around Christmas time, people were tipping Villa to come third and title race and try and push because Unai Emery's record was so good. Now, I never saw that personally, but I always thought they would have a great chance of getting top four, and I still do. I personally want to see them in the Champions League because it means that Spurs won't get it. However, I do think that we're probably going to get 5 places still this year from what people are saying. So, fair play. Do me a favor, people. We've got nearly 200 people in here, and we only have 65 likes. That is poor. Come on, man. You're moving like Spurs. You're being Spursy in the chat. All you got to do is click the like button, people, and then hit subscribe. I'm literally about 70 away from 17,000 subscribers. So if everybody hits like and subscribe, I will hit 17,000. And that will be an amazing way to finish Sunday evening. Because if Carlsberg do weekends and I hit subscribers and some of the results gone the way today, I can be a happy boy smiling. So please do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and please subscribe to the channel. You don't have to become a member if you don't want to. Nothing like that. I'm not going to beg people for super chats and money. All I do is I beg for likes and subscribes. I never beg for money. That's not what I do YouTube for, is to get you all donating to me. That's just not how it goes. Those that do super chat, I appreciate you greatly. But please, if you can't afford to super chat for your question, please hit the like and please hit subscribe because that is free. It costs absolutely nothing to hit those two things. I also expect a few of you to click on the link to the description and the link that I've pinned into this comment for Surfshark VPN. Make sure that you purchase that because that is well worth it. You need that, particularly if you're going abroad. So please make sure that you click that now and make sure that you click on that as well. People are already subbed. Let me know in the chat if you're already subbed. Let me know if you've already liked. And let me know who you support. I always love to know. I've subscribed, and I'm a Fulham fan, or I'm an Everton fan, or I'm an Arsenal fan, Liverpool fan, Man United. That's what I need to know in the chat from you people. So make sure that you've done that, please. That would be amazing. I want to touch on this quick. We go into a international break now, and international football is not really for me unless it's a tournament, right? It's not. But I am going to look at this England setup, and I'm going to see what I'm getting from Gareth Southgate's men. This England team needs to win this tournament. Why? Not because the fans need it. That's obviously a bonus. Not because the players and manager need it. That's obviously a bonus. But because we're the best team in the competition. That's why. In my opinion, we should be favourites along with France for this. Yeah? You might get a dark horse. You're always going to get Sweden, or you're always going to get a Poland or a Germany or something that you think, whoa, where did they come from? But for me, I have to say, I 100% believe England are good enough. I'm not a huge fan of Pickford. I'm not a huge fan of Maguire. I'm not a huge fan of Shaw. But I tell you what, we've got an unbelievable amount of generational talent in this England setup right now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, John Stones, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Jack Grealish. All these players that we have should be enough to go win that tournament. And if he doesn't, I think he should go anyway. But I think that just confirms to me that he has to. And that's where I'm at. Before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to the following people. Listen to my mum, please. 5 more likes to reach 100 target. We're not here 100 yet. Come on, people. Surely we can get to 100. Need 6 more people. Come on. All you got to do is hit like and it's done. Like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Big up to all of you, man. Big up to Tony. Subbed and liked. Only one team. Arsenal. 100%. Totally agree with that. Reggie. Liked, subbed. Guna. Love you long time. Love you, my bro. Villa fan. Rob. Villa fan, Steve, Colin, subbed, Guna. Who else have we got? Kasim Khan, Arsenal fan, big up. Denver, subbed, Gunner for life. Who else are we? Grumpy Adult Gamer Mark as well. Much appreciated for the support. Yeah, listen, you too, my bro. Thank you so much for that. Chelsea fan as well. Big up to you, my bro. NS Sport TV. I know you're always here supporting the channel, so I do massively appreciate that as well. Come on, guys. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. And PO Elite is also a massive gooner. Excuse me. Listen, we're going to leave it there. We're going to get out of here. Do me a favor, people. Make sure you head over to Lee Judges TV at 9:30 with myself and Lee Judges, talking all things Q&A of the weekend. Throw your questions into us. We'll get down and dirty with some of the football chat that we always try to discuss with you guys. Very interactive. Super chats, questions, all things Arsenal, all things football. Ask us anything you want. That's over on Lee Judges TV at 9:30. As you leave me, smash the like button. We must have hit 100 likes by now, have we? Have we hit 100 likes? Yes, we're over 100 likes. Let's get that up to 250, please, people. Let's make sure we keep smashing the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's make sure we get that up to 17,000 subs. We're literally about 57 away. So please make sure that you get that up. We need to keep going with the subscriptions as well as the likes. And then make sure you click on Surfshark VPN as I finish. Click on the pinned comment. Click on it. Take a look and make sure you purchase it, man. It is an absolute must. You must get Surfshark VPN, people. It is the way forward, particularly when you go abroad. So make sure you're smashing on that as well. We're out of here. We'll see you next time. And as always, up the Arsenal. Yes, Judges.
Hello, Dan. How you doing? You all
What are you
right?
up to, bro?
I'm actually watching the football, mate. This Surfshark VPN is a lifesaver, mate. You can watch the football with a dodgy Wi-Fi, even at the Emirates when you've got a big crowd there and everything like that, watching the football. Unbelievable.
Easy to set up? Well, it must be if you've done it, mate.
Oh, very, very funny. Even abroad you can watch all your favourite programmes. It's like being at home, mate.
And that's exactly what you guys can do too. Click the link in the description for Surfshark VPN.